Europe's at a crossroads, standing at a pivotal moment in its history. The choices made now could echo for generations to come, shaping not just the continent, but the entire world. And the world is watching closely, with eyes glued to every development, every headline, and every diplomatic move. From newsrooms in New York to living rooms in New Delhi, people are asking, what's next for Europe? For decades, the West set the rhythm of global politics and economics, orchestrating the rules of trade, security, and diplomacy. The G7, NATO, and the European Union were the pillars of this order, projecting stability and influence. But now, as of November 29, 2025, some European nations are tuning to a new key, looking toward the BRICS alliance. This marks a dramatic shift as countries once firmly anchored in the Western camp begin to explore new partnerships. This isn't just a minor shift. It could rewrite the global balance of power. The world's political chessboard is being rearranged, with new alliances and rivalries emerging. The European Union, once the symbol of Western unity, now faces members considering a future with rivals like Russia and China. This internal tension is testing the very fabric of European solidarity. Meanwhile, the global South is rising, demanding a greater voice, and BRICS has become their platform. Countries from every continent are seeking a seat at the table, eager to shape the rules of tomorrow. For two EU nations to consider joining BRICS signals deep frustration with the old order. It's a bold statement, reflecting both disillusionment and a desire for change. Is this a pragmatic economic move, a political protest, or a strategic gamble for more influence? The motivations are complex, blending economic interests, political calculations, and national ambitions. In this series, we'll explore why these countries are making this turn, and what it could mean for Europe and the world. We'll hear from experts, examine the data, and look at the human stories behind the headlines. The story is just beginning, and its outcome could reshape the global stage in ways we can only imagine. Let's dive in and uncover the forces driving this historic transformation. To understand this shift, we need to know what BRICS is. Born as an investment term in 2001, BRICS grouped Brazil, Russia, India, and China, later joined by South Africa. It evolved from an economic label to a political alliance, challenging Western dominance. The new development bank, created in 2014, offered loans without the political strings of the IMF or World Bank. In 2024, BRICS expanded, adding Saudi Arabia, UAE, Egypt, Ethiopia, and Iran, boosting its economic and geopolitical clout. BRICS now represents a massive share of global population, resources, and ambition. It's no longer just a club, it's a movement for a multipolar world. And that's what's drawing new interest from Europe. In 2025, Hungary and Slovakia shocked Europe by taking the unprecedented step of exploring membership in BRICS, the powerful economic bloc led by Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. This move sent ripples through the European Union, raising questions about the future of the continent's political landscape. But this wasn't a sudden decision. Both countries have a long history of clashing with Brussels over issues of national sovereignty, migration, and EU-wide policies. Their leaders have often voiced frustration with what they see as overreach from the European Union, fueling domestic debates and public protests. Economically, joining BRICS could open doors to fast-growing markets and provide access to alternative sources of funding and investment. For Hungary and Slovakia, this is especially appealing as they seek to diversify their economies and reduce dependence on traditional Western partners. Politically, the move is a bold statement of independence, especially for leaders like Viktor Orban, who champion state sovereignty and often challenge liberal European values. It signals a desire to chart their own course on the world stage, even if it means defying Brussels. Aligning with BRICS formalizes their break from the Western consensus, particularly on contentious issues like the Ukraine conflict, where their positions have often diverged from mainstream EU policy. The timing couldn't be more crucial. As the world fragments into competing blocs and alliances, Hungary and Slovakia are betting on a multipolar future, hoping to secure a stronger voice in global affairs by aligning with both East and West. By straddling both the EU and BRICS, these nations aim to maximize their leverage, playing both sides to extract the best possible deals and opportunities for their people. Yet, it's a risky gamble, one that could either boost their influence on the world stage or leave them isolated from both blocs if the strategy backfires. The stakes are incredibly high, and the outcome remains uncertain. Every move is being watched, analyzed, and debated by policymakers across Europe and beyond. Hungary and Slovakia are now testing the very boundaries of European unity, challenging the status quo and forcing the EU to confront difficult questions about its future. The world is watching their gamble unfold, waiting to see whether it will reshape the balance of power in Europe or simply deepen the continent's divisions.
If Hungary and Slovakia join BRICS, the economic shockwaves will be felt across Europe. This isn't just a minor policy shift. It's a move that could send ripples through the continent's financial and political systems, challenging the status quo in ways few could have predicted. For Hungary and Slovakia, joining BRICS is about more than just economics. It's about diversifying trade partners and reducing their heavy dependence on the EU, especially Germany, which has long been their main economic anchor. By seeking new alliances, they hope to gain more leverage and flexibility in global markets. BRICS membership could open up vast new markets and attract significant investment from economic giants like China and India. This could mean more trade deals, increased foreign direct investment, and a stronger presence in emerging global supply chains, potentially boosting local industries and job creation. It also ties into the global push for de-dollarization, encouraging more trade in local currencies and directly challenging the dollar's dominance. This shift could make their economies more resilient to external shocks and currency fluctuations, but it also introduces new complexities. But legal and logistical hurdles loom large. As EU members, Hungary and Slovakia are bound by common trade rules, tariffs, and regulations. Navigating these obligations while aligning with BRICS could prove extremely complicated, risking conflicts of interest and regulatory gridlock. Dual membership could create regulatory chaos and provoke a fierce response from Brussels, including possible sanctions, loss of EU funds, or even political isolation. The EU may see this as a direct challenge to its authority and unity. For the EU, the real threat is political, a crack in the single market and a dangerous precedent for other restless members. If Hungary and Slovakia can break ranks, what's to stop others from following suit? The move could weaken Europe's collective bargaining power and unity, making it harder to negotiate as a bloc and defend shared interests on the world stage. The economic benefits are uncertain, and the risks to European integration are very real. Experts are divided, with some predicting growth and others warning of instability and fragmentation. Hungary and Slovakia are walking a tightrope between opportunity and upheaval, balancing the promise of new partnerships against the threat of alienating their closest allies. The outcome could redefine Europe's economic landscape for years to come, setting the stage for a new era of competition, cooperation, and uncertainty. The political stakes are even higher than the economic ones. Hungary and Slovakia's pivot challenges the EU's identity as a community built on democracy and shared values. Aligning with BRICS, which includes autocratic powers, undermines the EU's credibility and unity. For Russia and China, it's a propaganda victory, proof that Western alliances are fracturing. For the US, it complicates foreign policy and weakens the transatlantic alliance. Domestically, leaders hope to appear strong and sovereign, but risk deepening divisions at home. Many citizens still identify with Europe and its freedoms, setting the stage for internal conflict. The move could spark protests, legal battles, and a national identity crisis. The political fallout will echo far beyond Budapest and Bratislava. For ordinary people, this isn't just politics, it's personal. EU membership means freedom to travel, work, and study across Europe. A shift to BRICS could threaten these rights. Some see new opportunities, cultural exchanges, business with emerging markets, but many fear losing the benefits of EU integration. Social values could clash, as BRICS nations often hold more conservative views than the EU. The debate is about more than alliances. It's about identity. Are Hungary and Slovakia European at heart, or bridges between East and West? The answer will shape daily life and national destiny.
Experts are split on this European pivot. Some, like Dr. Ananya Sharma in New Delhi, see it as smart multi-alignment, small nations seeking leverage in a multipolar world. Western analysts warn it's a dangerous gamble, trading reliable alliances for uncertain gains and risking becoming pawns of Moscow and Beijing. EU officials express frustration, calling it a betrayal after years of investment and solidarity. They warn of consequences for turning away from the European project. BRICS leaders, meanwhile, welcome the interest, framing their bloc as open and inclusive. The debate is fierce, and the stakes are global. Hungary and Slovakia's decision could set a precedent for others. The world is watching to see which vision of the future prevails. The outcome will reverberate far beyond Europe.
If EU members join BRICS, the EU faces a crisis of confidence and identity. Should it punish dissent or allow more flexibility? The debate could paralyze the Union for years. Globally, this accelerates fragmentation. Countries playing blocs against each other, alliances shifting. International institutions could become even more gridlocked as divisions deepen. The meaning of the West itself is up for debate. Can a country be both EU and BRICS? The world grows messier, less predictable, and more complex. Europe's next moves will help define the new global order. Europe stands at a historic crossroads. Hungary and Slovakia's BRICS ambitions reflect a deeper global transformation. The old certainties are gone. Nations are searching for new footing. Europe must choose double down on unity and shared values, or embrace a flexible, multi-aligned future. Both paths carry risks and rewards, strength or fragmentation, influence or irrelevance. For citizens, this is a time to reflect on what kind of Europe and world they want. The forces driving this change are real demands for voice, equality, and identity. The decisions made now will echo for decades. Europe's story is far from over. The next chapter is being written in real time. The world is watching, and the outcome will shape the 21st century. We are all part of this unfolding symphony.